What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Lost Records Journal, Player One vs. World's Lost Records Focus podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adnan. My co-host Adam is here. Adam, you here?
I'm here, and I've officially made my move to Blue Sky. Like I'm planted in Blue Sky now.
Yeah, the first 20 minutes of that, no, not the first 20 minutes, the first 5 minutes of that episode have aged so poorly. It was, you were like, I don't know if I should sign up. You signed up.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I'm going to sign up. Player One versus the World, and me have signed up. And I was like, watching that, I was like, this is aged like milk, this episode.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
No, I like Blue Sky so much better because it is just early social media. It's early Twitter. That's all it is. And I'm like, thank God, dude. Because I don't even want to step foot into X anymore. It's just not a clean look. You know?
It's just, the problem is, it's like what I fear that Blue Sky can become, because when it eventually evolves, that's when it's like,
oh sure, and then I'll leave it once it becomes that. But for right now, I'm digging it.
My only issue is that I'm on Twitter more because of like the news aggregators all being on there. Like every big big influx of people leave Twitter and go to Blue Sky, it's just not going to have the same resonance. It's like
I'm feeling the move is going to come really soon. Like I feel it more than Hive. I feel it more than Mastodon. Like this one actually feels more legitimate, this move.
Yeah, I mean, if it can crack 50 million users and it can kind of get to 100 million, then it's going to pick up a big steam. I think, if anything, the next 4 years will probably dictate its move, considering what's happening with things. I think that's when we'll start seeing certain things that happen. But yeah, it is an interesting app to use. I need more people to be on there, if anything. It's nice to kind of keep up to date with some of the game developers who have now moved over there and kind of see what's actually happening and what they're saying. So if anything, it's good. But that's obviously not the big conversation he had, because obviously this podcast is... This is the big one, I think, for a long time as well, because we now have a new Lost Records trailer that has come out, and we will be discussing that. But obviously, before we start as well, if you are new here, please do consider dropping subscribe on the channel, turn on notifications like the video, share with your friends, helps you support the channel, helps you keep up to date with all the content we do. Lost Records content, Don't Nod Montreal, Don't Nod, Deck 9, Square Enix, Life is Strange, it's all covered on this channel, so do stay tuned with that. Please follow us on Spotify as well. We have about 59 to 60 followers now on the Spotify part of the show on itself, and we now have 10 5-star ratings, so thank you so much for that. So obviously a new podcast starting up with, you know, a game that isn't even out yet, but it's getting some really good love, so thank you so much for that. And obviously, if anything, oh dear, look at that, I can't believe I didn't put that on focus. This is complacency from me there. Let's turn those notifications off. This is the big episode, because obviously the trailer has dropped and we're very excited to talk about it. We're now recording Saturday the 7th of December. I think this will move ahead of time, so this will come out on the 8th of December. Fingers crossed, everything goes to plan in my mind, because I want to get it out as soon as possible for people to watch, because obviously big news happened. So Adam, before we start as well, talking about the trailer, should we just run through the press release and just the little specifics we got here with the extra stuff that Don't Nod has shared?
Dude, yeah, I'm psyched.
Yes, so obviously the trailer dropped earlier in the week. Was it this week it dropped? Am I going crazy? It dropped earlier this week. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
So it dropped earlier this week, and by the way as well, how bad was that prediction? Oh, it's gonna appear at the Game Awards, and about 50 minutes of that show is dedicated to the game. And I'm like, Don't Nod Montreal, Don't Nod.
Yeah. Well, this is going into what I said before. It's just like with Jeff Keighley's pricing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would they? Why would they? I'm not saying Don't Nod can't afford it, but when you've had, you know, 2 games that you put on ice, you know, and you're putting all your eggs in the basket of Lost Records, why would you pay Jeff Keighley all that money? I don't know. It didn't make sense to me.
And also inside the Game Awards, where there's like big games being revealed, which are going to take the shadow away from Lost Records anyway. I think maybe it's a good place to announce the game, like Lost Records was announced there, but to show probably something else now, it wouldn't make that much sense. A fair point completely. I just thought it might appear at major game events, seeing it was around the corner, but apparently not. So here's the press release, Adam, as well, which was released on the 3rd of December, which says Don't Nod unveils haunting new trailer for Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Experience Bloom on the 18th of February 2025, and with Rage coming on the 18th of March 2025. So pre-orders have opened as well for it. So there's a press release that says Don't Nod, an independent... I'm not going to read the entire part there. Don't Nod has just released an evocative new trailer for Lost Records Bloom and Rage, developed by Don't Nod Montreal. The 2-part game promises a deeply immersive journey, with Part 1 Bloom launching on February 18th, 2025, followed by Part 2 Rage on 18th of March. The latest trailer sheds new lights on events and characters of the game and introduces darker themes like adversity and conflict conflict. It invites players and fans to piece together fragmented memories and offsets the closest look yet at the supernatural mysteries that the Abyss presents. What is the Abyss and how will it change the lives of Swan and friends? So obviously a physical PS5 version has now become available for pre-order. That is with
only
Maximum
PS5
Entertainment
version.
Yeah. Screw you and Philly, eh? So in partnership with Maximum Entertainment, a physical PS5 version will be available in summer 2025. Players can pre-order it at select retailers, which we previously discussed the partnership with Maximum Entertainment. So there we have here as well, which is Discover the Music of Milk and Bone. The track featured in the Abyss trailer is composed by Montreal duo Milk and Bone, who play a major role in the soundtrack of Lost Records Bloom Rage. Additionally, check out the brand new single Forgone, one of the licensed songs that will be part of the game's soundtrack, among others. Forgone will be released on December 6th on all popular music platforms, which it has now been released as well. And Milk and Bone said here, we're so thrilled to be able to announce the collaboration with Don't Nod for the original soundtrack of Lost Records. Scoring a narrative game like this has always been a dream of ours, and we could not have hoped for a better partnership. As gamers and a big fan of previous Life is Strange games, Life is Strange games, Don't Nod games, it was such an honor to infuse the game with our identity and to tap into our melancholic. You have to help me out there, dude.
Melancholic
signature sounds. Thank you. That's what they said. So, and obviously the other little details there, so which we got covered, if anything. Milk and Bone have confirmed that they are the composers of this. I saw an Instagram post where it said that we are the composers of this game, which would make me believe it as well. And in itself as well, Milk and Bone appeared on Life is Strange 2. Adam's pulled up a screenshot here as well. Oh, he's doing his thing. He's doing his music part.
Bandcamp. Let's go, y'all. So something interesting is that I haven't looked on their Spotify, but this is their first entry into Bandcamp here, because whenever I click their name, this is the page. So by the way, I'm a big supporter of Bandcamp. This is my music streaming platform. I buy albums, I listen to them, then I put them on my iPod right here. But I love Bandcamp. So we have a pre-ordered digital album, and you see right here, Forgone, and you can we can play that. It's available to play, but you can pre-order $5, and it comes out January 17th. So a month before the game releases. So it's little shout outs, Milk and Bone on it. But yeah, I will be pre-ordering that.
No, that's pretty cool. No, it's good to spot on Bandcamp. I'm just going to pull up here as well, Adam, as well. As you can see on our post as well, they put there, we scored the new Don't Nod game, Milk and Bone.
Yeah.
So
nice.
They are there. They actually have connection with them as well. So that's Lawrence Lanford Balloon and Camille Polkian, I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for butchering the name pronunciations. Their music was in Life is Strange 2. Yes. And I believe it's episode 3, Wastelands. And I think it's in the credits specifically. It's the song Natalie. Which is quite cool that's that they have worked with, specifically Don't Nod Montreal, Luke and Michelle, that they worked with them before in some capacity with the music. So yeah, we've got all the details there. So we've got a lot of little bit of details. I got a little surprise to add on to here as well, which I kind of figured out something out as well. A lot of sleuthing, if anything. But we'll show that at the end. You'll probably see it on our social feeds. We'll make a post at some point, probably before this episode comes out, so you'll see what it is anyway. But Adam, obviously the trailer came out. We need to talk about the trailer. The Abyss is now kind of the main theme as they've spoken about. And I will say as well, Adam, one thing that has aged really well from the last episode in context of this trailer is I did say to you, do you think this game is going to be an Oxenfree-esque game or more of a Life is Strange game? And you said Oxenfree, and I was very much hoping that you would say that because this screams themes from the first Oxenfree game, with the idea that the Abyss and kind of is it the Sunken in Oxenfree?
The entities, it's the Sunken.
Yeah. So it's the Sunken. It's kind of giving me those kind of vibes during the. Not necessarily. I don't want to say it's just Stranger Things. It's kind of that supernatural element, if anything. So I'm kind of sold on this. He's got another screen share coming up here. I mean, are we still selling the music here? You're selling that music more than anyone else. Hey, he's bought it. Look at him here.
Just wanted to put it out there. I have pre-ordered it, so I'm not just saying it. I actually am doing it.
He's acting on it. Yeah. So, Adam, trailer. What did you think?
The trailer for Lost Records, not for
Oxenfree. Yeah.
For Oxenfree. You want me to talk about the trailer for Oxenfree? That was a good trailer for Oxenfree, dude. That was a wild one back in 2015. Wow. No, this one was like, I feel like this is gonna sound dumb, but like, hear me out. I feel like we got the most information about this game from that trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so bear with me here. Is that the first did we get 2 teaser trailers?
We've had 2. So we've had 3.
It was the low 3?
So we've had one at the Game Awards last year,
yes,
in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Lo-Fi Summer trailer, which appeared.
Lo-Fi.
And then we had one at Gamescom that appeared.
Yes, I was forgetting about the Gamescom one. But yeah, this, and then we had the gameplay.
Yeah,
like a bunch of different influencers. Yeah, got their hands on it. And we saw some gameplay footage. Mm-hmm. Like the teaser trailers kind of like let you into what the world is and how it can all be, you know, connected and all that. But this one, oh, and even the gameplay is just like, this is how the game will flow. This is kind of the costumes. Mm-hmm. This one, I kind of feel like gets more into the nitty gritty of how much pain, you know, is going to be going into this game. What kind of characters we're going to be seeing around the world. Like, it doesn't seem like a friendly town. Like, it's not like Life is Strange, where the first one, you had like some nice folks and some bitter people, but like there's actively people hating you in this game. I think we're going to be going into how brutal the 90s were. Like if you grew up in America in the 90s, it was not a friendly time, politically and just people, you know. But yeah, no, I think we're really gonna hit the nail on the head. And what I love about and this thing, we're seeing ravens going into the pits, right? And what I know from what I can tell about Michel Coe, right? What I can tell from his writing is that he is a godsend when it comes to analogies, right? He knows how to make an analogy from world building. He is a environmental artist, if I'm correct. Like that's his like background, right? So he knows how to. What's that?
Sorry, his background will be art. Yeah,
nice. But yeah, no, like I think that's, you know, he tells a story from the environment. He gets what the human condition is, and I think that's with how much pain and how much hurt is going on in this town, and the fact that it's specifically based in the 90s, I think we're gonna get a much more darker image than we're expecting. Just the first thing that pops up in front of the trailer, like a trigger warning, right? Michel Coe does not hold back. He never has, he never will, and I appreciate that. Where there's other artists, you know, that will hold back. They're like, well, we want to give some subtle themes here and there. Play Life is Strange 2 and tell me that Michel Coe holds back. The man doesn't. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I'm more excited than I ever had before. Will this mean that I'm canceling Avowed? Unfortunately, no, because I still want to play both. But I'm very excited for Lost Records.
Yeah, I think the trailer, funnily enough, Adam, as well, it kind of makes more context for us as well, because during that interview we read about Michel, and he said that the characters don't necessarily become antagonistic to each other, and we were kind of trying to discuss it without this trailer, for example. It now makes sense why he's saying that they weren't antagonistic, because I think it is that vibe you said, where it feels like the town is against them. There's dark and supernatural elements between them, but then the camaraderie of the 4 people will hold themselves together. So it's like, that's why there's probably like no, during the dialogue is specifically done in a certain way when you interact with characters, whether it's Swan or Nora, Cat, it's never negative in a certain way, because it seems like it's trying to build that as the foundation that keeps things together. And fully enough as well, when you're saying it as well, when you're painting it with the kind of town being antagonistic, one of the games that has been an inspiration for this, one of the films that has been an inspiration for this game is obviously Stand By Me with by Stephen King. And it gave me big Stand By Me vibes, which was when obviously Corey is in the trailer and he's threatening Kat. It came across as very much like Ace from Stand By Me when he's confronting the young kids, which I think like what was the first thing I kind of picked up, because I was like, actually, it's showing where the certain Stephen King films, novels, books, films are now inspiring certain elements of Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. And I think that general assessment of the fact that you have this kind of idea that the town is against you and that the people are hostile in nature. And I think even when you said as well, the 90s were brutal, man. They were brutal like, in that sense. Like I think like we kind of forget sometimes how brutal people interact with each other with like just in
what was the 90s like in Britain? Did they like understeep your tea just to get back at you?
Yeah, and they'd be like, oh, bloody hell, we'd messed up tea, something like that. That's your impression of me doing an impression. Yeah,
an American having an English accent. Yeah,
it's a. No, I think it's really an enlightening thing to see with that. I think that they kind of captured some aesthetic of what they're trying to tell here, especially in that period where it's like it is the 1990s, and obviously the kind of idea with the abyss. It seems like that again. It gives me the sunken kind of vibes from Oxenfree, not a complete like replica or imitation of that. I feels like there's a kind of like a more supernatural force. It kind of reminds me again of like that, the idea of The Shining, where it's like, an Indian burial ground. Like, it's like there's that kind of idea that there's a bigger entity that's kind of causing more things within the town. Again, these are all Stephen King things, so it's kind of like knocking on, if anything. I love that the Raven is a symbolism now. I love that the fact that has become now a core theme of this. Obviously, having spoken about it in the last episode, it's quite nice to see it. And it's quite prevalent as well. The music is gorgeous as well in the trailer. Like it's good. That is Milk and Bone. That does a track in the trailer. It's not Forgone. Thank you, Marin, for like for replying to me. I completely misread the press release when I did it, and you replied to me there. But I think Forgone is a song that's in the first tape of Lost Records, and then this music is composed for the trailer. I don't know if it's actually in the game, but it's made by Milk and Bone, but it is fantastic. The music of that trailer, so I thought it was quite like well placed. Yeah, it is interesting because even as well, like there's this kind of idea, like when Swan cuts her hand or looks like she's about to cut her hand, but we don't see it. That could be anything. That could be like almost like ritual-esque, if anything, because obviously if we're going down like the idea of like Indian burial grounds, we're going down the idea of the abyss and stuff like that, the sunken, like in Oxenfree, etc. I'm using Oxenfree as a reference because obviously Michelle has said that there's an inspiration from Oxenfree with this game. It could be like a ritual or something which triggers an event. For example, she has to like sacrifice blood to kind of do something. You never know about it. It might even be self-harm, obviously, because it does seem to suggest that. It does. Obviously, Swan is bullied in some capacity in the game, and then the girls kind of come to her side, which I think it shows with outside. It shows with Corey and with Daisy as well. I think it's a more mature, compelling of age story that's being told here. I think it's more than just what Life is Strange 1 was doing. I think they're really trying to focus more on Swan and being this character who is shaped and defined in certain ways because of her experiences. And it was interesting to see. I think the visual shots are amazing. So in the trailer, like Swan looking in the mirror and it's broken, it's just like such a like a beautiful touch. And then I think there's kind of like things that you see with Swan which are great, where it's like she's like bashing that lock off the door, and it's like a bit of strength in adversity, and general sense as well. I think like the Corey situation was interesting. Corey's the character that they've introduced, the male character who's like confronting Kat in the trailer. I believe he's Corey. The girl's called Daisy. But I thought Corey was interesting because during the way he speaks to Kat as well a little bit there, I thought that they might even be related in some way. I thought it might be her big brother or something, and it might be like a bit more of a kind of idea that it's like that's the kind of like problem she has at home with like the kind of, because I think was it you said that maybe Kat has some kind of home issues, or was it Nora that you kind of implied that?
Nora.
Yeah, so I think it might imply to one of the characters. I don't know if it's going to be Kat specifically, but the way Corey says it in the trailer when you watch it as well, and he's speaking to Kat, he's like, "I'm going to drag you in here." And da-da-da. It seemed
it was Kat that I said.
It was a Kat.
It was Kat. I'm just like thinking back. I think it was Kat that I said that.
So like that's what I mean. But it's like when you see the trailer as well, and watch it, he's like, "Don't make me drag you in here." And obviously they're outside the I can't remember what the diner's called. They're there. It's we've seen that shot before, if anything. But he's like, "I'm going to drag you in there if you do this." And it sounded like almost personal rather than like actual. Just we know each other, or we've met or something. It feels like it's almost like the brother and sister, maybe like older brother, younger sister, maybe just an idea or something. I could be wrong with that, but I kind of had that vibe of the dialogue, if anything. But yeah, generally speaking, I enjoyed all of it. I love the fact that the trailer's a minute. It doesn't need to be longer. The mystique with this game is as it is. It doesn't need to be showing too much. I think you're right as well. It's given us more of the story idea that we've seen since anything. And I don't think you necessarily need to know the full story, because I think this in itself is a coming of age story with Swan, and then obviously the Abyss will form other plot points. Something has happened. We know there's two timelines that we know there's past and present timeline. We make a time jump, something happens. Again, in the trailer, we see Autumn in the trailer as an older version. The only character we've seen as an adult. Again, this is like as physical, if anything. We haven't seen what Swan looks like. I'm convinced that there's more to that now as well, if anything. That you have to why they're hiding her face and stuff,
because she has an eye patch. She became a pirate in she went yar.
My theory is that it's the Raven's head. It's become Swan.
The Raven's head. She turned into a raven.
Yeah,
and she the Raven.
Yeah, she's gonna make that noise, and then the game ends as well, and then it'll be like
Pirate Raven. She's actually a pirate Raven. That's why they're not showing it.
And then you'll see the screen, it'll say Swan Holloway will return in the next at the end of tape 1.
It'll be like the Michael Bay ending with Linkin Park playing in the background.
No, I just think that what they've done there is really well. Like I admire a very good trailer, and Marin big part with this trailer with the development team and all the other people. Like they worked really hard on that trailer, and you can see it as well. I'm a big sucker for a good trailer, and that was one of those ones that stays in my mind for a long time. Where it's like I'm thinking
By the way, let's put some shame on Marin and Michelle, right? Because I believe Luke replied saying his profile picture wasn't changed. He asked him, I'm not very good at this, guys. Can you help me, please? And Marin and Michelle said, no. And then they became American, apparently say, pick yourself by your bootstraps and just, go on through life. We had to go to school uphill 20 miles snowing.
That was pretty funny, though. Do you know, Matt, when you have a response on your bingo card, it's like maybe they're doing this for a thing. It's like Luke's like, I asked Marin and Michelle for help.
Yes,
no.
Marin.
They didn't say no, but you never got a reply. And it's like that makes sense why Luke's picture's not.
He said he asked them nicely, but I don't know, man. Why didn't they help you if you really did ask nicely? I mean, as a fellow bearded man, do we ask anything nicely? I don't think so. It's our responsibility as bearded men to not ask nicely.
You got to keep the brethren together. That's the main thing. But
they all have beards. What the heck?
I just found that funny, if anything. Adam, I'm just going to pull this up as well. This is from Blue Sky as well. So this was Marin's post. And he's put, always late posting on my account, working on these Lost Records trailers is always such a blast. This time we leaned fully into the rage and left the blue behind, pairing the Abyss with this Milk and Bone track, easiest decision ever. And F you, Corey. So I just wanted to give Marin a shout out because I think that their trailer was very, very well shot and it's very well done. Those kind of things take a long process to do. But yeah, justice for Luke. I think that's going to be the main hashtag for this. Hashtag justice for Luke for his his profile picture not being changed. I Well, Luke said that Michelle would shake your hand, and I don't know if I agree with that as well. I don't think he would shake.
I don't know if I agree with that either. I feel like Michelle would. Now Luke says so, and I think Luke will shake my hand. But
I
then
don't know about that either.
Because I am the original Life is Strange 2 hater. I went on publicly, and Luke was like, no, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's good. We do like to hear your feedback. Meanwhile, him and Michelle are just like, we'll bring him to Canada. We'll say, oh, Adam, why don't you come to Canada, check out the studio? But in all actuality, shrimp bucket. There will be a shrimp bucket right above the door, and I'll open up the door, shrimp fall on my head. They're planning this. I'm telling you right now. There's no shaking hands. There's just shrimp on my head. Poutine bucket. Never mind. It's going to be a poutine bucket.
There we go. The full authentic French experience, as a French Canadian experience, if anything. I sorry. No, generally speaking, that trailer was really, really something. I think it sets up things really well. Obviously, now we've got pre-orders open, which makes sense, and obviously, the physical release will come at a later stage, which is to be expected.
Only for PS5.
Of course, because it's the best console as well.
I'm not disagreeing. At this point in the generation, there's no way to defend Xbox at this point.
It's because I hope that they do a collector's edition, even if it's like limited or something, or they have like a vinyl or something. I'd love for them to make something that does come with the success of this game. Hopefully, that things do map out that way. But I genuinely thought, like, watching that trailer and seeing what they're doing with it, I'm happy for it, because it's like, that's the game I necessarily want. I think there will be big question marks about if Life is Strange fans will be won over, bigger consensus of Life is Strange fans, because I think if you're a Don't Nod fan, you like this game. And if you're a Life is Strange 1 and 2 fan, you might like this game. But remember as well, I think when you look at Life is Strange as a picture, some people play it irrespective of the developer. So whether it's Deck 9 or Don't Nod, they just play it. So it's like, I've seen some people are saying on the fence, being like, I'm interested, but it's like, I want to see a bit more. It's not got the same connotations as Life is Strange, because obviously, for example, the camcorder is your main disposal in this game. It's not got a supernatural element that we know so far in terms of a character controlling powers and stuff. Guys, as well, IP infringement and stuff like that. Don't know, it's not stupid enough to start getting into lawsuits with certain publishers about trying to like copy and rip off ideas. So I think what they're doing is good and smart. I just hope it cuts through with a modern audience, and maybe it does, because it does give a Stranger Things-esque vibe. And I think that has always been a popular thing for Netflix. So maybe that translates to some success with a video game trying to do it. The verdict is still out on that. But I saw enough of the trailer, and I think it was good to kind of, again, put the focus back on Swan, which I think is Michelle has always put as a reminder in these trailers. It's like, Swan will always be ultimately the focus of it. She's your character. He's talked before saying that I don't want you to rotate between characters, because he likes a fixed character. So, for example, same with Sean and Daniel. Sean is always the main focus, despite Daniel having the power. He's your character, your focal point. He's your focus. So the trailer did a really good thing where it kind of showed other things, where it showed Autumn, for example. It showed Kat. It showed Nora, but it kept switching back to Swan, being like, here's the focus. She's the character. You hear her dialogue. It's, Olivia Lepore. I adore her voice. I think she's unbelievable. Yeah. Like, there's something so like spine chilling about hearing her talk, the way she does her performances. So again, I hope as well, my early predictions, like, BAFTA 2025, 2026, when this game comes out, Game Award in 2025, I hope she sees a lot of success from this game. But generally speaking, it was interesting in itself. The only character I felt that didn't see much of in this trailer was Nora. But Nora had her own moment, which is when she flips off Corey when he's driving away. Yes. And I thought that was the first thing I tweeted. I was like, this is the most real thing from any character. But we saw a bit more on Kat, which I like as well, because we've only seen glimpses, and then obviously Autumn takes another focal. I think people are playing down Autumn, by the way, as well. I think Autumn's going to play a bigger role in this story, if anything, because even in the trailer as well, in the whole sequence, when it shows the tunnel, for example, who's Swan with? It's Autumn.
Yeah.
It's and they've kind of teased that she's a love interest, because she's holding a hand in the first trailer at the Game Awards when they're walking away. I think that there's more. There's something more with Autumn as well. I think some people might be sleeping on the fact that I think she's going to be a bigger character. I think Nora and Kat are your supporting characters, if anything. I think Swan is your main character, and then Autumn is your support character. I can't remember the word. Is like duologist. I can't remember what it is. It's something. It's like some, it's like Chloe Price-esque in terms of like the supporting character, the blue-haired girl, as they call her in certain parts. I think that there's a construction in the trailer that works really well. So I've kind of vibed off of what I've seen so far. I don't know if there's anything else that was there. I think Daisy was an interesting character. Obviously, it's like the Victoria Chase-esque, a bit more kind of a bit
interesting
older.
Is a word, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of I want to see more, because I think there's more to that. I think sure. That's the kind of the 90. Maybe it's the Mean Girls vibes. Maybe it's the kind of like we're going full Mean Girls. Do you went like they did it lightly with Victoria Chase? I feel like it might just be a character that is. I think that they might even do the full Stand By Me thing. Do you know, it's like Ace comes across with the other character. I think he's called Ace in the Stand By Me. I need to watch that film again. Fantastic film. But it's like, do you know, Ace is kind of like the antagonist of those four kids in that film, or the book as well. It's like that's the character I think they're positioning Corey with, for example. So they're making him like an antagonist, which is a good thing as well. And the same with like Daisy as well. Maybe Daisy does have a bit more of a redemption arc, if anything. Daisy? Called Daisy? I think she's called Daisy. Yeah, I'm like flipping it a little bit. I think I'm kind of like thinking, I'm like second questioning myself here if it's Daisy or something else. Something's like just coming in my mind there. Hang on a minute, I'm just double checking this quickly because
Okay.
I've got him here. Corey and Dylan.
Maybe.
Why am I calling it Daisy? It's Dylan.
Oh, I thought it was Daisy this whole time. I just believed you.
Right, yeah. I've been saying Daisy through the entire thing. Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Have I? Oh dear.
I think. Yeah.
No. So right there, yeah. So it's Corey and Dylan.
Yeah.
So there's because that bottom image we're on the video feed for people who aren't watching. We got the image of the two characters, Corey and Dylan, and then obviously
I appreciate Corey's Corey is the one with the necklace, yeah, or the pearl necklace.
So I assume that Corey is the guy.
Yeah, Corey's the guy because they say like "F you, Corey," as he drives away.
So
but yeah,
Dylan's got the necklace.
Yeah, no, but I appreciate Corey. That necklace that Corey's wearing. That's such a '90s necklace, dude.
Oh yeah,
it's such a '90s fit. That's such a '90s like style, right?
Even
there,
the
dude.
drip that they're wearing is it's full '90s. That it's full 1990s. The drip is like so on point there. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I keep saying why is Daisy in mind? Dylan is Corey and Dylan.
I don't know. I just anybody that has a British accent, I just follow whatever they say.
There we go. Well, Dylan isn't really necessarily like a hugely popular UK name. That's my excuse for it. Bite me when you're watching this. So yeah, we see this, and that, obviously, Adam, that's why that lockpick is in the alpha footage from earlier this year that we saw at Gamescom, where it's like you see with Corey and Dylan. So I've thought that, and also as well, hey, Twin Peaks.
Hey, look at that.
Maybe so, maybe not. I just look that up and see if it was actually Twin Peaks. Yeah, I think those two characters are interesting. So in itself as well, Adam, very small cast again. Very Life is Strange 1-esque as well. Keeping it micromanaged on the cast members. Again, Oxenfree style, keep it very small, like a collected crew of certain people. I don't think you're going to be like messing around with too many people. But yeah, generally speaking, I can't remember actually if there's anything else in the trailer I kind of missed out there. Did I miss anything else that happened in that trailer that was like major?
I don't think major, no.
It was only a minute trailer.
We're not a breakdown podcast, right? It's like, oh, let's just go into the breakdown. It's like a 45-minute episode or 45-minute YouTube channel.
That doesn't achieve anything either by the end of it.
Yeah. God, dude, like that. I'm so glad those days are kind of gone because some people just stretched, man. It's like, we're gonna break this down. We're gonna go in this trailer. Why do you use this color palette? And I'm like, dog, relax. Even though I'm pretty sure you're guilty of it.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
that is definitely me, if anything. I'll do it now as well because I'm just about to do it here. As you can see here.
Oh, here we go, dude.
But I think that's Kat's last name though.
Yeah,
on the car because it says ranch, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
And her parents own a ranch.
The ranch. Wait, Kat's or Autumn's? Because Autumn is the one with the ranch.
I thought it was Kat that has a ranch.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm stupid.
I think you are stupid. This is why you're being American and stupid for it, if anything. So yeah, I think that's Kat's last name that's written on the car there. And this drives off and obviously destroys all these musical equipments, which I think is a dig on you, if anything. So
dig on me specifically?
I think so. Yeah. I think there's going to be a punching bag in the game which says Adam Evil on it, potentially. Maybe.
That's what I mean. I don't think Michelle will like shake my hand because he's got a punching bag of me in the game. I swear.
Yeah, but it's kind of like it's kind of expected though, isn't it? Like you've kind of caused this to yourself, haven't you?
I do cause myself pain. If like anybody punches me on the street, I'm like, yeah, I probably deserve it in some way or another.
Yeah. Overall, great. Obviously, I think the other thing that came up in the trailer, if anything, was we kind of got a full context of the Raven, for example, with the car, because it was teased for for a little bit on their social feeds, and there was a Raven that was on the car. Ultimate is in the car, so I think that looks like it's presenting the moment when she goes to meet Swan, adult Swan, because it seems to be the setup for. I think it's called the Blue Spruce. I think it's called the place where they're sitting. I'm still trying to get my head around some of the places, guys. Please don't grill me in the comments saying that I've got these things wrong. I think that's the setup of her arriving on the phone, obviously, and then she's going to go and then wait for Swan to turn up, and it'll kind of like set up the let's start jumping around here and there points. But yeah, I'm overall keen on it. By the way, as well, because I don't know if you watched. Did you watch all of Lost? Oh, you suck. Never mind. Because I was gonna make the point that the Abyss reminds me of the last season of Lost, where it's like, you know, the center of the Earth kind of thing, where they have like a crater, and you can kind of, it starts feeding the island's power. But unfortunately, I can't talk about this because this guy hasn't watched Lost, the greatest TV show of all time, unfortunately. So
yeah,
gonna have to like move on from that. Any other reflections? Any other feelings about what we saw? What wasn't shown? Anything else?
No, I'm just excited now. I'm more excited, and again, I've had faith in Michel's writing that he knows how to write a good game and make a good environment. So this just kind of like proves it. Like, and Michel's the kind of artist that will grow as an artist over time. There's a lot of artists that kind of like stay stagnant. They'll put in their 10,000 hours and just stay the same. But you know, Michel puts it in with intention to grow. So it's just proving it.
I think as well, you know, kudos to that, to the other writers that came on the project. Because obviously it was Jean-Luc and Michel that wrote the idea of the story, but they had Nina and Desiree come in to kind of add the kind of like, the American style to the writing and help write the girls. And I think it's showing really well. So I think it's as a collaborative approach of Michel's input anyway, and Jean-Luc as well, who will be like, you know, another unsung hero of this kind of game. But then you see like Desiree and Nina come in, and they've talked about Desiree and Nina's influence in terms of the writing side, helping to refine the girls, like the way they talk and like some of the dialogue lines. I think it's just a more refined version of Life is Strange 1 at this point, with dialogue, if anything, and more refined version of Life is Strange 2, where they've kind of really like hit the beat points. Because we played Oxenfree. We love the first Oxenfree. That's the gold standard, isn't it? That was like that's ex-Telltalers working on this game, and that's the gold standard. Like, they really knew. Well, I remember playing that first Oxenfree, and the dialogue was like bang, 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 bang on point. Like, the character relationships are so good, and that is essential to replicate in this game, for example. And I think that's a really important thing for people to remember as well, that you really need those characters to gel together, to like mold together, and then it kind of shows in the presentation of the game. Because I'm really kind of like, I'm excited for it, if anything else. I'm just hoping that, if anything, the next couple of like at least months, like, you know, leading up to release, like at least going to next month, they can kind of get a trailer that attracts the mainstream attention. Because we're recording on the Saturday, and I've had a look as well, and not many gaming outlets have covered this, like the big ones, if anything. Like, some of them have uploaded the trailers, for example, to like a video player, but they haven't written like specific news articles about it on their major outlets. And it's like, you know, I'm kind of just a little bit cautious. I'm hoping that the message cuts through at some point, being like, you should really write about this game. It's something that people are interested in, because again, their business standpoint, like from my perspective as well, journalists aren't necessarily going to give that much time to their resources to a game which isn't getting that many views on site, because they have a business of ads, they have a business of clicking on people, and Lost Records might not be factoring into that at the minute. If Lost Records gets a lot of appeal, gets a lot of people's eyes, then you can definitely tell they're going to start covering every trailer, everything that happens with it.
Oh yeah.
But generally speaking, yeah, it looks pretty solid, and I'm still happy. I'm still interested. I'm still excited going to 2025. I just hope that at least with next month, they start opening up the marketing, where it's like, you know, it goes to a bigger scale, where it's like less cryptic, but more kind of like, you know, the summer trailer, you know, and it's like, you know, banging explosions, and gets the bigger eyes. You know what it's like. We talked about focus groups, we talked about marketing and stuff. You need to kind of get people who aren't ultra niche into Stranger Things kind of being like, oh, actually, this is interesting, because it's important. That I think people keep forgetting the idea. It's like, oh, because it's Life is Strange developers, it's going to be an instant success, and that's not a binary conclusion. It's not a complete, you know, a definitive outcome that's going to happen. It's going to have to be hard work, determination, stuff, and that's what's been shown so far for me, at least, that they are committed to working on this. And this is amid, by the way, as well. This is amid Don't Nod dealing with a lot of stuff at the minute, which is currently a really bad financial year. And on top of that, with strikes happening as well, with the STJV as well, because that affects Montreal. You might not think it does it, but it does affect them in certain respects, because it affects more the Parisian division, which has had layoffs, but morale, for example, at Montreal will be affected. And then same with like marketing as well. Marketing and other departments are based in Paris. They might have small divisions in Montreal, but the bulk will be there. So, for example, look at that Gamescom thing that they did, where they had the entire booth. Was that just Montreal saying, oh, no, obviously it was Paris as well that did it for it. So I think it's important for them to kind of really build on their momentum, if anything. I think that's a really, really big point with this. And I think at the moment, I'm happy, but I think it's just to kind of get through the bigger picture, which is, I think that's why we've always talked about it before, me and you, where it's like, they don't really bother with us because they know that we do what we need to do for them, if anything, but it's always try and get other eyes on their product to see the trailers, to talk about them. But generally speaking, it looked great. I was happy with that trailer. Fantastic work. I'm a big sucker for trailers, man. I'm a big admirer of good trailers, and that was up there for me as one of them. Where would you rank that in the trailers? So we've had 4 so far. We've had the Gamescom one, we've had the Lo-Fi trailer, the Game Awards, and this
I think
one.
I've made it pretty clear where I rank this one.
But how would you rank all 4 of them?
Okay, so number 1 this trailer. So yeah. This is the first trailer, number 1. I'm gonna say after number 2. I'm gonna say the Game Awards one. Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of excitement from that. And then number 3 being Gamescom, and number 4 being Lo-Fi.
Really, you put Lo-Fi bottom?
I think so. If I'm ranking them, yeah. I'm not good at ranking things. I suck at it.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think this would be the best trailer. I think it is number 1 for me. I think number 2 is Gamescom.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a really good trailer overall, how it was shot and how it kind of built up things. Number 3 is, I think it's the Lo-Fi trailer for me.
Yeah.
And I think the reveal trailer's at the bottom. Not saying that the reveal trailer was bad. I just think it's not. It was kind of like, let's announce it. So it was colourful. It was jumpy. It was kind of like presenting things. But I think the other ones gave me a little bit detailed. So it's like, even with the Lo-Fi trailer, it has that like nice little thing with.
That's what I mean. It's just it's hard to rank the bottom 2, 3 and 4, because they're both good in their own rights. I tie them at 3.
Yeah, I think they're all good trailers. Let's just like get that clarified. I think they're all good trailers. I think it's just that it's how you kind of what they fed us in terms of the information, the content we got. So ultimately, I'm kind of like happy with that. But yeah, big expectations going into 2025 now. Going into it as well. That's February release, and then March for the second tape as well, which will be. I hope this is a success for them. I really do hope it's a success for them. It's like the industry has been horrible, as we'll be talking about in other podcast episodes and stuff, like with news that's emerged, and it's like, man, I don't understand when people start celebrating like people's downfalls and stuff. I just don't see that. Like, Don't Nod's had a bad time this year. Deck Nine's had a bad time. It's like, I don't sit there relishing gleefully, like, seeing people have struggles. It's like, I don't know what you get from it. But it's like,
you know what they get from it. Like, you're in courses. Like, you've studied psychology. You know why.
Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah, I just find it weird for myself, if anything, because it's like, what do you get from it? Because like, if for example, like, even from like, at least with like Lost Records, if it's not a success, then we lose something again, which could be a special game, and then these things don't always happen anymore. Like Oxenfree is like one of those games that came out and it's like, it was a success, but it was a big gamble, wasn't it? And those games don't always happen in the gaming industry. Now they just throw 15, like, £5 million budgets at like Concord or something, like just ridiculous budgets. And then those games collapse instead. It's like those games get greenlit, but we want to see these, like, these are the games that remind me of my era growing up. PS2, PS3, PS4 games, which had like small size budgets, but people would support them, and it kind of made games become franchises and seen some success. And it feels unique. It feels it's got its own identity. So I'm pretty sold on that.
Yeah, no. But like, again, people are they just want to make their lives seem a little bit better, so they don't have to face their own problems. So they just want other people to fail. Yeah,
that is true. That's true. Have we got anything else to cover? Have we missed anything else on this trailer?
I don't think so.
Oh, actually, no. We have. There we go. Yeah, thank you for actually. It's reminding me. So I got a little bit of tea here.
I didn't remind you anything. You reminded yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I got a bit of tea here, which I was doing a bit of nosy with, and I'm gonna try and pull it up here because they're gonna be really annoyed. I'll be really happy I found this. So Adam, this is Jordan Dawson.
Okay,
and he is the actor behind One, as you can see there. Yeah. Which is a nice little thing to feed that for people who don't know, if anything. So yeah, we found out the actor of Corey, who's Jordan Dawson, as you can see, posted that, which is quite cool. I just wanted to share that with you.
Why would I be annoyed by that?
No, not you annoyed, but like the Montreal people, like, in case it's like, damn, this man's sleuthing again and like found things and stuff. I just stumbled upon information, and I just wanted to put it out there, because Jordan seems like a really cool person as well, and is doing Corey, even if he's playing Corey, and we're anti-Corey at the moment. Sounds like a very, very wonderful, genuine actor, which is like, I want to give it a spotlight for that.
Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we move on?
I don't know. I didn't plan this far ahead for this podcast. Have you got anything?
No. It seems like you have something.
Okay, let's call it a day then.
This is always how it goes. Like, I have like 3 things to say. Like, do you have anything else to say? Because I have 5,000 things to say.
Yeah, but my brain functions in like so many different ways. Like, it's just like it's constant stream of information. I just don't want to like leave this without like actually talking about anything else. But I think we can call it a wrap then, because you seem to have given the signal for that. But yeah, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our reactions as well. Let us know what you thought about the trailer. Are you excited? Are you excited? Are you excited? We're not excited. Obviously, we're all excited. You can't say you're not excited about it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be interested to hear it. And always as well, as we round out here, thank you for joining us as well. Please do consider dropping subscribe on the channel if you're here. Turn on notifications, like the video, share your friends. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. Helps support the channel, helps keep up to date. All the content comes up. You can get notified as soon as videos get posted. You can check out the community tab where you get all the news feed constantly relaying. We give you all the information before you even need to go out and look for it. And also, the Lost Records Journal is available on all podcast services. So we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're available on everything. So go check us out there. You can download the episodes if you follow us as well. Please rate us as well. It helps give visibility. So other people who are interested in this game, it helps them find us as well. So it gives them a bit of attention. But yeah, we're going to call it a wrap here as well. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, I get this out on Sunday. That's my plan, is to kind of turn this over at rapido speed so everyone can watch this. This means that this Wednesday, there's not going to be a Lost Records Journal episode, obviously, because this is moved here. However, stay tuned, because after this, me and Adam are about to record a StrangeCast episode. So it's a small StrangeCast episode. It'll be a reaction to what's happened recently with the Deck 9 story, which happened on Friday, which was about layoffs. So stay tuned for that. It'll be out on the Wednesday. It's a very small episode. It's not a full meaty one. We just kind of spliced it off because our schedules are going to change at least in the next week or so. So we thought we'd address it now, because otherwise we're not going to get to it in a long time. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye.
Later.